Rainbow Six Siege has been out since 2015, and while it's one of the most tactical shooters out there, it's also had its fair share of problems.
L excuses, right hand on the Bible, God can strike me down if I'm lying. That motherfucker's cheating! Take my word!
Over the years, the game has been plagued by cheaters, some subtle, some absolutely game-breaking. So today we're going through the history of cheating in Rainbow Six Siege. Starting off with one of the oldest and most subtle cheats, macroing. This involves using scripts or devices to simulate rapid or perfectly timed button presses. In Siege, players would macro things like recoil control or rapid fire for pistols. It's been around since the early days and is still used today, especially on console through devices like Zim or Strike Pack, but more on those later. Although on PC, it is definitely still easy to access it as well, through Logitech G Hub and other My Software as well. These macros are hard to detect, but definitely gives an unfair edge. Because these cheats are so hard to detect, most people will never get banned for them, giving people a false sense of security that Ubisoft doesn't care about macroing. This has tricked people into thinking that a lot of high-level players macro, and that it's okay to macro because they won't get banned anyways. But just because you don't get caught doing a crime doesn't mean it's not a crime in the first place. Next, we've got wall hacks. Classic cheat. This lets players see enemies' outlines through walls. Soft walls, reinforced walls, hard walls, you name a wall, they can see you through it. Extremely common around 2016 to 2019, especially on PC, when BattlEye wasn't as effective. Even now, private cheats still offer wall hacks if you're using a DMA, though they're less common due to better detection, and the most common Siege cheat developer discontinuing their cheats for Siege. Although if you ask any Siege player at a high level, if they're still around, they'll all tell you the same thing. When did wall hacks ever really leave in the first place? Next up is Aimbot. Now, Aimbot comes in strong just after wall hacks. They snap your aim directly to enemies' heads, giving players superhuman accuracy. Around 2017 to 2020, they were everywhere in unranked and even some ranked games. Now, to be fair, they still exist today in paid cheat clients, but like wall hacks, they're risky to use now with detection being more aggressive than it previously was. But make no mistake, of all the cheats I've gone over so far, this was by far the craziest of them all.
Make it look legit.
Something even crazier than that, though, is shooting through hard surfaces with bullets. This one's a bit weird, but essentially players could shoot through hard walls or unbreakable surfaces due to glitches or cheats manipulating hitboxes. This was most common around 2018, but still prevalent today. It's mostly patched now, but you'll still occasionally hear players call out suspicious wall bangs, and you'll still get shot through hard surfaces if people are rage cheating. Something that doesn't really happen all that much compared to that, though, is turning semi-automatic weapons to automatic weapons through the use of a macro key, a strike pack, or actual cheat softwares. So if you know what a strike pack is, you know what I'm talking about. But essentially, you can turn semi-automatic weapons into automatic weapons by programming a cheat on your PC or your controller to input the shoot button very, very quickly to essentially make the gun almost automatic instead of just holding down the gun on an automatic weapon. This cheat modified weapons like the DMRs or pistols to fire as fast as humanly possible, basically turning them full auto. This was especially nasty on operators like Dokkaebi or Kali, most popular around 2018 to 2019 like most other cheats were, and usually achieved through macros or external hardware. Something that was achieved mostly with software, however, was this next hack that allowed you to get complete 100% accuracy when you were hip firing from your shield. If you don't know, without the shield rework back then, if you were shooting your pistol as a shield and you weren't ADS, you would just hip fire your shots and you would get really lucky if you hit a head. Beyond that, it wasn't really a viable way to hit people because the hip fire accuracy was so terrible. Some people used to cheat to get around this, making the hip fire accuracy pretty much completely 100% accurate. Shield operators had a hip fire accuracy that was just way too perfect. It was technically an exploit, not a cheat, but it gave Monty and Blitz users a laser beam pistol while being shielded. This got patched up pretty quickly, but it was around 2017 and 2018 when it was around the most, and it was still very game breaking even though the shields weren't meta. Something that is used even to this day, though, is the most common cheat for console in history, and that is a Zim. Zim Apex, whatever you want to call it. Zim adapters in general let console players use a mouse and keyboard while tricking the system into thinking it's a controller. This will give you insane accuracy and reaction time, especially compared to controller players. It allows you to essentially use your whole arm to aim instead of a thumbstick, which is a huge advantage. Now, there is some input lag when you use this device, but it's still way bigger of an advantage than a disadvantage, so everybody's using it. It's been a problem for years, and unfortunately it's still widely used today on console. Another console cheat that is widely used by the community even to this day is a Cronus. Now, like a Zim, a Cronus is a device that lets players run scripts on their controllers, whether it be anti-recoil, rapid fire, etc. It doesn't matter. This was the most popular around 2019, but is still widely used today and super hard to detect on console. This cheat is mainly used for people who want zero recoil like a Zim could give you, but don't want to switch to a keyboard and mouse to use the no recoil scripts.
What did I do? I think 25. 25 is what I did. Let's go ahead and see what the 25 looks like. Look at that. Absolute beam, but now it's shooting to the right side of our screen. Again, it's not terrible, but it is shooting to the right side of our screen. So I'm going to go in there again. And this time, if it's shooting to the right side of your screen, you'd want to move it to the left. So just press left on your D-pad, make it a -4. And now most likely it's going to shoot either up or down again. Oh, that is an absolute laser beam. That is how easy it is to configure your recoil. Again, I can go ahead and make spreadsheets if you guys want.
But now that we're on the topic of console cheats, let's talk about the next common console cheat, which isn't as common anymore, but still was pretty common, and that is a strike pack. The strike pack is basically a more accessible Cronus. It attaches to the back of your controller and adds paddles and macros to your controller, which is huge if you didn't want to go spend a bunch of money on an elite controller and get the paddles and giving you macros in the process. It has built-in mods for recoil, for quick scoping, and more. It's cheap, easy to use, and yup, still very much alive. Moving on from just console cheats though, let's go over something that plagued the console and the PC community. That is the most illegal cheat in this video and can get you in the most amount of trouble if you use, which is DDoSing. This one is pretty infamous. DDoSing just crashes the game servers, which will essentially end matches and force wins. It hit its peak in 2019 and 2020 on console, especially in ranked. Ubisoft eventually implemented better server protections and matchmaking penalties, but you'll still hear stories of it popping up from time to time.
Oh my god. No, the guy's definitely f***ing with the server.
This shit's so delayed, man.
Yeah, it's really bad.
This is exactly what my Wi-Fi is normally like. Let's go.
It's horrible.
Let's go. I'm used to this. It's too easy.
Oh my god.
Wait, what? I just shot Pulse in the back with an entire magazine and nothing.
Something that was only in the game for about a month though was this next cheat that was so broken Ubisoft had no choice but to act, and that was bullets that would create Maverick holes. Now there was a bug that you could exploit that would make it to where bullets would act like Maverick's blowtorch, making perfect holes in reinforced walls. Now a cheat developer actually took inspiration from the bug and made it its own cheat, to where before it was basically an exploit, but when cheaters took advantage of it, they made it a very good cheat. This is pretty heavily used around 2020, and thankfully, like I said earlier, they patched it fairly quickly, so we haven't seen it anytime recently.
Makes us suspicious of him having
Something else that we haven't seen anytime recently was this one hack that allowed people to fly into the air and kill everybody. This one was pretty wild. People would essentially use cheats to fly through the air and kill everyone before the round even started. It was rare, but popped up a few times between 2020 and 2021 in hacker-filled lobbies. Super game-breaking and got patched very quickly, but definitely one of the more funny cheats in the game.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Watch him fly, Monty.
Me, please teleport behind me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm just watching his name go up.
Can he even die?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I
The
killed
other
him last.
team. Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? The other team couldn't shoot him. Dude,
Oh shit.
he's fucking flying.
Why isn't he teleporting near me?
I don't think he can teleport. I think he just has no clip and he can fly around super fast.
He like vaults. Yeah, I think he can only vault a certain amount of times, or like a certain.
Oh my god, that was so scary.
Oh, he's in the sky! Dude, what the am I watching?
Now, this type of cheat actually had multiple different modes. Some people would only be able to teleport a few feet up in the air or a few feet forward, whereas other people would straight fly into the air and aimbot you the second you spawned in, leaving you zero chance to be able to fight back. Now, just like there are different types of flying hacks in Rainbow Six Siege, there also used to and still kind of is a lot of spin botting hacks. Now, spin botting is a classic from other shooters. Spin botting essentially makes the cheater spin rapidly while aim botting, making them nearly impossible to hit and also making it nearly impossible for them to miss. Not super common in Siege anymore, but around 2021 to 2022, it showed up occasionally in PC ranked when Clar was very, very big in Siege. Now, again, that was pretty popular, but let's go over the most rare cheat that was seen in Rainbow Six Siege that I guarantee you watching this video probably forgot ever was in the game. And that was invisible sledgehammer kills. So essentially, invisible sledge was a thing. Hackers would make him completely invisible and go around insta-killing people with his sledgehammer. This one was very rare and very specific, and it happened actually earlier in the game, but made a resurgence in 2021. It was more of a troll cheat than anything else, and there wasn't that many people that did it, and you often got recognized if you were using it because there were maybe like 10 people who were doing it, which is why it's so rare, but still a cheat I wanted to go over nonetheless. Next up is actually a bug that inspired a cheat developer like earlier ones in this video, and that was bullets making giant holes in soft walls. This was a glitch or cheat, like I said, that made soft walls break way more than they should have with a single bullet. A single mag or bullet would tear open a wall like a C4. This happened mostly in 2021 and got patched, but it showed how broken the destruction system could be when it was exploited. I even have my own TikTok on my page that blew up showing exactly what I mean. But let's move over to more common hacks that you'll see. Now, I talked about earlier in the video using wall hacks, but there's a very specific type of wall hacks that I want to dissect right now, and that is utility wall hacks. And this isn't just seeing enemies. Utility wall hacks let players see gadgets like traps, like capcan traps, frost mats, or cameras through walls. This was part of some advanced cheat clients more common in 2022, and usually came with normal wall hacks that allowed you to see players. Very dangerous for high-level play, especially in competitive. Something else that was more dangerous in high-level play, at least recently, was the ability to shoot or knife people through their own shields. Whether it be shooting to an enemy shield, or being the shield operator and shooting behind your shields. There were moments when you could shoot or knife straight through deployable shields, whether you were the one. There were points where you could shoot or knife through deployable shields, which was another hitbox bug, mostly unintentional, but some cheaters made it a consistent thing.
Rush him when he's doing like his special, you can't shoot. Yeah, like now. Yeah. Hold up a second. Did you guys see that? Let's run that back. Yeah. So you might be thinking, nah, could have been lag. He might not have actually had his shield up. Well, let's take a look at the kill cam.
What the hell? I saw his shield still up.
It was up.
Is it you glitch or something?
Well, there it is, boys. A Montaigne shooting his magnum while still having his shield fully extended.
Something that did not last nearly as long, though, is this next cheat where defenders could plant and defuse their own bomb. So yes, this did actually happen. So essentially what would happen is defenders somehow were able to hack the game into thinking that they were an attacker. And then as an attacker, you would grab the bomb, run to the site, plant the bomb, and then switch your role using the cheat back to a defender and defuse the bomb, essentially winning the round on defense for absolutely free. This was utter chaos. And it was part of some cheat suites in 2022 and 2023. So pretty recently. Very, very, very rare, but hilarious to witness nonetheless. After reports of this absolutely blew up, this was very shortly patched, but if people had this cheat, they usually also had the next cheat. And that was the cheat where attackers could just plant and spawn. Pretty similar idea, but attackers planting the diffuser right in spawn and winning rounds instantly. Most common around mid-2023, and usually done with cheats that manipulated the round start logic or roles like I said earlier with the other cheat. Now,
give it a second. Well, we obviously know he has cheats because he's doing the sliding thing, but he is planting in spawn. The diffuser has gone down. The defenders are just like, what? Like, they are literally all confused. They're just like, what do I do? Where do I go?
Out of all the cheats that I'm going to talk about in this video, this next cheat is probably the most harmless and was actually used in the most wholesome way that some people even miss. And that was the ban wave photo cheat. So in a bizarre twist, some hackers hijacked the ban wave notification system to, instead of displaying the names of people who were banned, it would display random images that they would choose, like the famous chicken photo that you may or may not have seen blowing up these past few years.
Oh, this guy is the best.
Wait, what's on my screen? You guys see that on your screen? Why did I do that?
Guys?
Can't get off.
Dude, chicken, bro! Did I kill him? Bro, no! There's a chicken on my screen, bro!
This wasn't really a cheat for gameplay, more of a flex by cheat developers and a way to troll your favorite streamers. Now, because of how unharmful this cheat was and how little people were using it, and really the entertainment value behind it, Ubisoft wasn't fast to fix this cheat. But because people started using the worst images you can think of imaginable on stream and getting people banned, Ubisoft then quickly made quick work of this cheat, and it hasn't been around since. Something that is still around to this day and even around in other games that's pretty common is the next cheat on this list, which is speed hacks. Speed hacks have been around forever, but in Siege, they became the most noticeable around 2023. Again, players moving at lightning speed across the map, killing everybody before they could react. Definitely something you don't want to go against. This still pops up occasionally in cheat lobbies, especially when combined with spin botting, but it's not something that you'll find all that often. But now it's time for the final cheat in today's video, and that is a cheat that you may not have heard of, but is arguably the least unethical cheat in this entire video, and that is the cheat that allowed you to unlock all of the elite skins in Rainbow Six Siege. Essentially, you could unlock every elite skin and equip it without paying a single dime. This was part of some premium cheat services in 2023 to 2024, but even if you didn't pay for the cheat, you were still able to do it by just hacking the game's code. It didn't really affect gameplay, but it's still cheating the system technically and was bannable, and was a big offense that a lot of people did back in the day. And that's it for the history of Rainbow Six Siege's cheating issue. While Ubisoft has cracked down over the years, cheating still finds a way, but hopefully cheating will be a thing of the past in the near future. That's it for today's video. Check out this next video, and I hope I'll see you there.